Okay, hi, good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you from Gimyang Shipping Seafarers Union. Okay, welcome, guys. It is an absolute honor to have you all in my maritime English class today. I am your teacher for today, Teacher Shelly. So, as proud seafarers, everyone, you know better than anyone that clear communication at sea isn't just about passing a test, right? It is vital for of course, your safety, your teamwork, and the smooth operation of your vessels. All right, so as we go on over the course of our lessons, we aren't just going to memorize the grammar, okay? We are going to practice a real life, a practical English that everyone can use on the bridge. All right? And for the engineers in the engine room. And of course, during port operations. So, please don't worry about making mistakes. Today in our class, what is important is your safe harbor to practice and learn, right? So, thank you for your hard work and dedication to your craft. So, all right, let's get started and sail through this course together. So, again, welcome, Gimyang Shipping Seafarers Union. I'm your teacher for today, Teacher Shelly. So, welcome to our Maritime English Week 69th, Day 1. Alright? Okay. So, our lesson for today is a very important lesson, actually. Okay? So, it is all about SMCP. I know very well you know a little, right? A little background about this. So, SMCP is a standard marine communication phrases. So, that's what SMCP means. Okay. In this lesson, okay, I divided this into two. So there's a part one, which is the introduction to SMCP. Okay? So as we go on, we have to know the agenda or what is in our lesson. So the first topic will be about the introduction to SMCP. Okay? Next is the structure and features of SMCP. And then the SMCP in ship to ship communication. Okay? And then we will also discuss about the SMCP in ship to shore communication. Okay? Not not just ship to ship, but also ship to shore communication. How are we going to apply SMCP? And then also, how are we going to apply SMCP during emergencies? Okay? And lastly, for our part 1, will be all about the question and answer. Just a little test, no? If you were able to understand the lesson. Okay? But there's no pressure, okay, everyone, about this. Okay? All right. So, as we go on for our part 1, which is the introduction to SMCP. All right. Now, what is our objectives here? What why are we going to learn SMCP? Why? Why do we need to study this one? Okay, number one, our main objective here is, of course, to know what is SMCP, right? What? How are we going to understand the standard marine communication phrases? Okay? And what is the purpose of this in maritime communication? Okay, that's the number one objective. Second, we have to understand the purpose why there is SMCP, why it is developed, no? What is the reason why there is SMCP? Okay? Basically, how it serves their purpose in maritime communication, especially at sea. All right? And then our third objective is to identify the importance of SMCP in maritime communication. Okay? Why it is important? Of course, basically, we can recognize how SMCP improves the safety, okay? And how it reduces the communication errors in maritime operations, right? And lastly, okay, the fourth objective is how are we going to explain SMCP worldwide or how we use SMCP worldwide. Okay? Because understanding the international standardization and the global adoption of SMCP in maritime English is very important. All right? So, one by one, we will define what is MCP or what is the meaning of SMCP. Okay, basically, SMCP is a standardized set of English words or phrases, okay, which is specifically designed for maritime communication between ships ship to ship, ship to shore, okay, or ship to port, okay, stations. So that is what SMCP means. A standardized meaning whether you are a Korean or a Filipino or a Japanese or an Australian, no, whatever your nationality on board, all right, there is a standard set of English words, okay, that whenever you are going to use from ship to ship or ship to port or ship to shore stations. All right? Now, this SMCP, it provides a universal language, meaning a one language framework, okay, that enables a clear and effective communication, okay, across different nationalities and cultures. All right? So, SMCP now is designed to eliminate, okay, unclear and confusion in critical maritime situations where a clear communication is essential. One of that is during emergency situations. All right? So, in order to eliminate, okay, unclear words during communication between ship to ship to port, or ship to shore stations, all right? SMCP now is developed. Okay? Also, SMCP are simple words. Okay? Simple words are used. Clear English words or phrases are used. Okay? It employs a straightforward and clear language that is easy for different nationalities to understand, even for non-native English speakers. All right? We follow a standard set of English words or phrases. All right? So, did everyone understand? Okay. Now, of course, we have to learn also a little background where SMCP came from. Okay. Basically, this SMCP, okay, was developed by IMO, or by the International Maritime Organization. So that's basically where SMCP came from. This was created or developed by IMO. This IMO is a specialized agency of the United Nations. All right? Now, why? Of course, to address the critical need for standardized maritime communication across international waters. All right? So again, who developed SMCP? It's the IMO, or the International Maritime Organization. Okay. Also, SMCP was officially developed by IMO in 2001, or last 2001. All right? They were officially adopted by IMO. Now, before they developed that, and last 2001, it became officially adopted by IMO. After a series of extensive development and testing, SMCP now was developed, okay, last 2001. All right. Now, the primary goal of SMCP is basically to enhance the maritime safety. All right? Maritime safety. Why? All right. By establishing a clear, all right, a standardized communication protocols. Again, to prevent accidents and emergencies at sea. So it all boils down to maritime safety. why SMCP was developed by IMO and officially adopted in 2001. Alright? So, based on maritime communication needs, this set of standardized phrases or words are based on a real world maritime communication. All right? And of course, they apply it through common scenarios which is which was basically faced by seafarers. All right? So, that is the history or a little background of SMCP. All right? Now, next. Okay, as I said, it was implemented by IMO. Okay? So IMO was a specialized agency, right? By the United Nations. So it was basically responsible for the safety and security. Okay? And it ensures that the SMCP are used among ships worldwide. Alright? Okay. So, as I said, why was SMCP created? Because there is, for example, I mentioned earlier, there are on a ship, there are 2 or 3 nationalities on board. So we all know that we have different languages, right? So and accents especially. So in order for each nationality can understand well with each other, okay? IMO developed these words or English words, okay? So that even if there's a one or more than two nationalities on board, they can still understand each other, right? Because language is basically barriers, no? And can cause accidents sometimes because communication with each other, with different nationalities, is really difficult, right? It's really difficult. So it could lead to miscommunication, no? And it could lead to collisions and sometimes an emergencies. That's why SMCP was created to help to help ensure the a safe communication on board. All right? Okay. So, everyone from Yumyang Shipping Seafarers Union, can you still catch up? So, all right. So, let's go to the importance of SMCP for seafarers. Okay. So, basically, as I said, it improves the safety at sea. Yes. It reduces communication errors, right? It helps during emergencies. Yes. And it ensures effective teamwork on board. So all I mentioned, all of this for are importance of SMCP for seafarers. Very important. Basically, for all your safety. Okay. Now next. So there are different areas, okay, or stations where SMCP is used. Okay, let's go to ship communication. Okay, we use SMCP. So, a direct communication between two vessels, okay? Basically for coordination, for navigation, or for safety purposes, we use SMCP, right? Another, we used SMCP in bridge communication, okay? For example, there is if the vessel has Korean nationalities or Korean crews, okay? So, the pilot on board is a Japanese, for example. So, there will be a little um adjustment because of the accent basically and the language. So, we use SMCP now here for bridge communication. So, there's an internal communication on the bridge, all right, between the crew on board or the pilots, okay, and for the officers. Okay, now next is we use SMCP for ship to shore communication. Yes, communication with port authorities. They communicate through VTS and the coastal stations for port operations and clearance. So, if the vessel is a Japanese and you communicate to a Korean, so we have to use SMCP set of words. All right? And another, navigation and cargo operations. Oh, yes, you have to use SMCP during that. Especially this one, the emergency situations. Because this is a critical communication during emergencies. Distress calls and the safety operations. This is where SMCP is used. Okay? So, next. Okay. What are the benefits of using SMCP? Okay? Why do we need to use that? For clear communication, of course. For faster understanding, of course. For international standardization and a better coordination during operations. Basically, a teamwork. So all of these are the benefits of using SMCP. Okay? Next. Okay, let's go to our second topic, the structure and features of SMCP. Okay. Okay, before I will push through with our lesson, so can you still catch up, everyone? All right. So, learning objectives. Okay. What is our objectives? Why do we have to learn SMCP? Number one is we can identify, okay, the linguistic and the functional structures of SMCP. And we can understand the core characteristics of the standardized phrases. Okay? And we will learn how to explain, all right, how SMCP enhances the safety and operational communication. Okay? That is our objective. Why do we have to learn SMCP? Okay, now, with regards to the main characteristics of SMCP, well, basically, it is just a simple English set of words. It is simple, it is a short sentences, and a standard lexicon. So when we say simple English, okay, we reduced a grammatical diversity to ensure understanding across cultures. We use a very simple words here, okay? That is easy to understand even if we have different nationalities on board. So when we say short sentences, it's direct, okay? It's a direct set of words, okay? And when we say standard lexicon, it is a uniform words, okay? To eliminate unclear, okay? Or to eliminate unclear set of words in critical situations. Okay, those are the main characteristics of SMCP. Okay, next. Okay, we can see here A, B, C, S. Okay, this one are the communication principles. A stands for accuracy. It is a fact-based data. B, the brevity, a concise delivery, the correct delivery. We have here the clarity for C. Okay? There should be no mistake or unmistakable intent or purpose. Okay? And for the last is for the S, standardization. It should be IMO compliance. Standardization, uniform set of words. All right? Those are the communication principles of SMCP. Okay, let's go to the standard message markers. Here, we have marker, we have instruction, we have the warning, we have information, the question, the answer, and how we are going to request. All right. For the instruction, what is the purpose? Okay, basically it is a regulated directive to be followed. Regulated directive to be followed. Meaning, for example, you were instructed to do not cross the fairway. Isn't it? It's very direct to the point. It is simple to understand and it is short, right? A short instruction. So this is how you are going to apply whenever you give instruction. Okay, using SMCP words. It is a regulated directive that should be followed. Example, do not cross the fairway. So you do understand right away the instruction to not to cross the fairway, right? Okay. If you're giving warning, okay, you give alert regarding a potential danger. How are we going to do? It's example, obstruction in position. So it's a direct warning, right? It's it's an alert for a potential danger. Okay? Obstruction in position. So you know now right away that there is an obstruction. Okay? So, if you're giving information, okay, you have to observe the facts or the situation. So, example in giving information is visibility in 2 nautical miles, meaning you're giving information that in 2 nautical miles there is a clear visibility. Okay? And if you are going to address a question type of SMCP, this is an interrogative character. Example, what is your present draft? So this is very simple, right? And very short question. What is your present draft? And then your answer, your reply to the question is, my draft is 12 meters. Right? So that's how you are going to answer the question. Short and concise and clear. So whenever you are going to request something, you use like this example. I require 2 thugs. So now, you know right away that the other station or port require 2 thugs. Right? Okay. All right. So let's go to the pronunciation and phonetics. How are we going to pronounce? Okay. Phonetic alphabet. We have to use this one. Okay? To avoid spelling errors. Okay. We use A for alpha, B for Bravo, C for Charlie, D for Delta, E for Echo, F for Foxtrot, G for Golf, H for Hotel, I for India, J for Juliet, K for Kilo, then L for Lima, M for Mike, and N for November, and then O for Oscar, P for Papa, Q for Quebec, R for Romeo, S for Sierra, T for Tango, U for Uniform, V for Victor, W for Whiskey, X for X-ray, Y for Yankee, and Z for Zulu. Alright? That is for the phonetic alphabet. Alright. I will pronounce Gyumyang. For example, Gyumyang, G for golf, E for echo, U for uniform, M for Mike, Y for Yankee, A for Alpha, N for November, and G for golf. That's how you are going to pronounce Gyumyang in our phonetic alphabet. Okay, I will make it a little fast for Gyumyang word. Golf, Echo, Uniform, Mike, Yankee Alpha, November, Golf. That's how you are going to pronounce Gyumyang. Alright? Okay. And for the numbers, we have to say that 3 for 3, 4 for 4, and 9 for 9. Alright? We have to speak slowly. We have to avoid slang or informal jargon. Okay? So, from Gyumyang Shipping Seafarers Union, did you guys understand how we are going to pronounce the phonetic alphabet? All right, for sure. Okay, next. We have here the safety impact. Okay, that is why SMCP is very important, is to prevent this one. Okay, to prevent confusion whenever we are going to call for help. Okay, prevent confusion during emergency response. And here, of course, a global support in international, okay, multilingual cruise, SMCP can really help. Okay? Because safety is the reason why SMCP was developed by IMO last 2001. Okay, we will now apply the SMCP in ship-to-ship communication. Okay. So what is now our objective? Of course, basically is to understand. Okay? We have to define the scope and nature of ship-to-ship radio communication at sea. And we have to master, okay, the common SMCP words, okay, used between the vessel for a clear communication. And the very reason is the safety, okay? How proper we use the SMCP in radio communication, of course, to prevent collisions, no? Or to enhance the safety of everyone on board. Okay. Ship to ship or the inter-vessel. Like for example, these two vessels here, how are they going to communicate with each other? Of course, we will use SMCP. Okay? So that's how inter-ship or inter-vessel or ship-to-ship communication. Okay? Coordinating a safe passing distance, or merely by informing the other vessels that you are going to maneuverate in this area, in this side, in the port side or in the starboard side, or for about the crucial implementation of the call regs, no? That is what the SMCP, ship-to-ship communication, means, the two vessels. Okay? Next. Okay. So, we have here a common situations. Alright? This is the vessel A, and this is the vessel B. So, basically, The vessel A is the stand-on ship. Okay? Vessel A. This is the stand-on ship. You have to maintain your course and speed. And since the vessel B is the one crossing, you have to give way. Okay? You have to change your course to avoid collision. Right? You have to avoid. Now, crossing and overtaking, okay? You have to clarify which vessel will give way, okay? And their intended actions. So here, if vessel A are uh, or carries a Japanese crew, and then the vessel B carries a Russian crew, all right, we have to use the SMCP words so that you can understand well with each other. Okay? So, here, in this situation, the crossing and overtaking, you have to apply the SMCP words. Okay? In order for the two vessels to understand well with each other. Okay? And also during narrow channels. Okay? You have to use SMCP words also. And during heavy traffic. Okay? You have to also use SMCP. Okay? Next, collision avoidance communication. Yes, you have to use, always state a clear intentions, and then you confirm the messages. And if the message is not understood, you just ask to repeat your last message. You have to do that. Okay? So, that is how you are going to verify in order to avoid accidents. Okay? And also, you have to repeat important instructions to make sure the agreement is well understood. Okay? You have to avoid chatter or unnecessary conversation that clogs, no, the radio waves, no. So we should have this discipline to avoid collision during communication. Okay? Next. Okay. Another, the primary link for each vessel is using the VHF radio. That is the standard tool, no, for bridge-to-bridge communication. And then the channel 16, of course, we all know that this is for distress, okay, call. And we have to have a radio discipline. We have to listen first before speaking to avoid interrupting existing safety traffic. Okay? That's one way to avoid communication collision. Okay. Yeah. We should have 100% message clarity. Okay? And zero misunderstandings to prevent dangerous assumptions. Okay? So, we should maintain, okay, we should maintain message clarity through cooperation between vessels, really. Okay? Okay. Okay, we have here safety reminders. Okay. First is you have to listen carefully. Okay? You listen. Pay attention to call signs. Okay? And the positions. To make sure that the vessel or to make sure that the message is really for your vessel. Okay? And then stick to SMCP. Okay? You have to stick to SMCP. Use only standardized words. Okay? Because local jargon or slang words leads to confusion for international crew. Alright? And thirdly, safety reminders is you have to stay calm. You speak clearly and with a moderate pace. Okay? Especially during stressful maneuvering situations. Okay? Even if it's a stressful situation, you have to keep yourself calm. You have to keep yourself in a moderate pace. You speak clearly. Now, the fourth safety reminders is avoid localisms. Okay? Phrases like, I'll see you on the one, meaning one whistle, blast, or port to port are discouraged in favor of SMCP. Do not use this kind of local words. Always use this. Altering my course to port. We will pass port to port. Okay? Port to port. Alright. So, the fourth uh, topic is about SMCP in ship-to-shore communication. Okay. Ship to shore. Our objective here is the scope, how wide, okay, the nature of ship to shore communication system. All right, we have to learn the SMCP words for that in interacting with shore stations. And also coordination, you have to understand the procedures for coordinating with port authorities and pilots, no? We have to use SMCP here. Ship to shore. All right. Bridging ship and land. This is the exchange of information between the shore-based maritime services and the vessels here. Okay? Now, the way for this link is the vessel traffic services. Okay? We have to contact with pilots and port authorities. Okay, this is the vessel and these are the pilots and port authorities. Okay? So there should be an interaction also with the coast guards. So from the bridge, okay, to the land. All right? That's the meaning of ship to shore. Okay? Right. Okay. Why is it important that SMCP is used in communicating ship to land? Okay. One, a safe entry and departure. Okay? The safety, entry, and departure. This is very vital in navigating the restricted waters and port channels safety. Second is the traffic coordination. It helps the shore operators, okay, manage the flow of many, okay, vessels in the area, busy vessels. And why SMCP is important? For emergency reporting, for example. You have to identify, you have to inform, or you have to notify this incident that there's a fire in the vessel. You have to report it to the shore. And lastly, the operational efficiency. That's one also important reason. Ship to shore. It reduces delays here in berthing and during cargo operations. So it is important. Okay? Why SMCP is important? For safety entry and departure, traffic coordination, emergency reporting, and operational efficiency. Okay? Next. Okay, examples. You are informing the pilot station of your arrival. For example, you are informing. So the common phrase here is you just say request pilot assistance. That's it. Right? Or you're asking for an ETA or estimated time of arrival. So, what is your ETA? Right? Short and simple, easy to understand. Another, you're seeking clearance from the port authority. You can just simply say permission to enter port. All right? Or you're requesting tugboats for berthing maneuvers. You can just simply say, I request or I require tug assistance. Right? And lastly, example for SMCP words, like for example, instructions to maintain watch on specific frequency. You can just simply say, stand by on VHF channel. So all these common words or phrases are very clear and easy to understand. That is the purpose why IMO developed SMCP. Okay? Radio etiquette. We have professionalism, we have brevity, you have to listen, you have to do the timing. Okay? You have to use formal, polite language at all times. You have to make the messages short. You have to make it clear. And it's strictly SMCP words. Okay? And then you wait for clear frequency. And then that's the time you respond before retransmitting. Okay? Now, during emergencies, do not interrupt traffic. Okay? Or the VTS instructions. So that is the proper way, okay, in using radio. Okay? Next. Yes. Wait for clear and response for retransmitting. Okay. The operational benefits of this is the safe navigation, of course. We have to minimize the risk of collisions in congested ports. Okay? And then, if there's a fast turnaround, we have to optimize the berth allocation and pilot scheduling. So, an effective communication is actually the cornerstone of a seamless port logistics. Effective communication. Okay. We have here the fifth topic, the safety or the SMCP during emergencies. Okay. Well, basically, our objectives here is to identify critical emergency communication phrases, okay? The distress procedures and a clear execution. Okay, excuse me. Now, that's a part of our objective, okay? This is an emergency situations at sea. There's fire and explosion. There's a man overboard. There's collision and grounding. Okay? So, in these emergency situations, SMCP words are really important. Okay. Communication categories, we have Mayday, we have Panpan, we have security. If we use Mayday, okay, definitely there's a distress. We use only Mayday words when the vessel is in grave and there's an imminent danger that requires an immediate assistance. Use Mayday. For Panpan, there is an urgency. There is an urgent help needed. Okay, of whether it's a person or of a vessel. While security, you're asking for safety. You transmit messages concerning the safety of navigation or the important meteorological warnings of the vessel. Okay? So always remember this. Mayday, there is an urgent and there's a distress help needed. Or there's a distress immediate assistance is needed. For Panpan, urgency. Security, for safety. One by one, we will discuss this as we go on. Okay? So, standardized emergency phrases. Like, if you will say, I am on fire, you are informing a fire, emergency, and current status, right? And when you say, I require immediate assistance, now here, the core request for all distress scenarios, you call for Mayday. And for man overboard in position, meaning you provide a vital location data for SAR equipment. And if you use I am flooding, you are reporting water ingress and risk of sinking of the vessel. And when you say abandon ship, meaning there is an ultimate command to leave the vessel. So these are the standard phrases, okay? This during emergency situations. All right? So next, the value of clarity. Okay, why clear communication saves lives? Okay, of course, in high stress environments, no, standardized language prevents ambiguity or unclear words that leads to fatal delays. Okay? So, the value of clarity of the information or for the words is vital. Okay? And fatal delays, of course, it's dangerous, right? So clarity is very important. Okay, in reporting details, you have to identify the vessel. Okay? Your name, the call sign, like for example, this one. How are you going to identify the vessel? Like for example, this is MV Galaxy, call sign Alpha Bravo 31. So that is your call sign. That is how you are going to identify the vessel. And how are you going to identify the position? Latitude and longitude or distance bearing from a known landmark. Yes, you have to mention the latitude. You have to mention the longitude or your distance or bearing from a known landmark. Okay, you have to mention that. You have to report that. The nature of emergency. You have to have a clear state problem. You have to mention what is happening on board. Like for example, fire in the engine room. You have to mention that. The nature of emergency. And then, assistance required. Okay, if whenever you need something, you have to specify what you need. Like for example, I require firefighting assistance. You mentioned that. Do not forget. Okay? And then also you mentioned what is the status. The actual status. Okay? How many crew on board? How many were injured? Okay? You have to also include that in your reporting. So you identify the vessel, identify the position, you have to mention the nature of emergency, you have to specify what assistance you need, and you have to update on board status. That's how you are going to report emergency details. Okay, radio discipline, the bridge team responsibilities. So there is a lot of responsibilities on the bridge. Okay, there is a lot. So, yeah, the power of training. Yes, that's why there is an emergency training drills that is always done on board. There's a regular drills so that there will be a muscle memory for each and everyone on board. Uh, it builds confidence, of course, the reliability of the crew, and of course, if you are well trained, if you do that regularly, the survival rate is, of course, high. Okay? So could you just imagine if you do that always, the training, okay? Or the regular drills on board, if you do that every other month, no? So it builds confidence to each and every one on board. Okay? So next. All right. So for our last lesson, actually this is not already a lesson, it's just a question and answer. Excuse me. So for question number 1, what is the primary objective of using SMCP? Okay. From Gimium Shipping Seafarers Union, I know very sure you've learned something, even though for just a very little discussion about SMCP. I know you can answer this one. So, is it A, B, C, or D? All right, you got the correct answer. It's letter B. That is the primary objective of SMCP, to reduce the risk and of misunderstanding among international crews. Okay? Next. So which message marker should be used when a shore station needs to tell a ship that a specific action is mandatory? Is it an advice, information, a warning, or an instruction? What type of message marker is that? Okay? When a shore station needs to tell a ship that is specific action is mandatory. Yes, it is an instruction. Okay, good job. Okay, for number 3. Is as in SMCP, what does the message marker question signal to the listener? Okay, is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, give me an seafarers. What is the correct answer? It's letter B. Yes, you get the correct answer. The message requires a factual answer. Okay, number 4 question. When communicating ship to ship. Alright. Intervessel for collision avoidance. Which phrase is correct for stating your intended turn? Alright, I mentioned that in our lesson. It's I am altering my course to port. Yes, this is the correct words or phrases whenever you are stating your intended turn. You will just simply say, for ship to ship communication, I am altering my course to port. Alright. For number 5, which VHF channel is the international frequency for distress? Excuse me. Safety and calling that must be monitored at all times. Remember the word distress. What channel is that? It's so very easy. Yes, you've got the correct answer. All right, it's channel 16. Good job from Gumium Shipping Seafarers Union. All right, for number 6, what does the abbreviation ETA stand for in ship to shore reporting? Okay, is it A, B, C, or D? So, what is the abbreviation of ETA means? It's very common. Of course, it's estimated time of arrival. Very good. Okay, good job. Gyumyang, very good. Okay, for number 7, if a vessel is in grave and imminent danger, all right, and requires immediate help, which signal words must be used? All right, is it A, B, C, or D? It's so very easy. Immediate. There's a grave and imminent danger. Letter, yes, you have to call for Mayday because there's an immediate or there's a grave danger. Okay. Number 8. Which signal word is used for an urgency? Okay, message concerning the safety of a ship or person, but not yet a life-threatening distress. Urgency. Okay, I mentioned that. No life-threatening distress. Not yet. It's, of course, it's Pan Pan. Good job. Okay, it's Pan Pan. Now for number 9. What 4 pieces of information that are critical when reporting an emergency at sea? So what is the 4 pieces of information that is included, okay, in reporting emergency? It's letter B. The vessel name, position, longitude, latitude, the nature of emergency, if it is fire, and what assistance you need. Okay? Those are the 4 pieces of information that you have to mention when reporting emergency at sea. All right? Next. And last, okay? Why should seafarers avoid using slang or informal language during radio transmissions? Okay, A, B, C, or D. What is or why is it important to avoid that? Okay, because it can easily misunderstood by non-native English speakers. That's very correct. Okay? Why you have to avoid using slang or informal languages. All right. So, everyone from Gimyang Shipping Seafarers Union, that would be all for today. And on Wednesday is our continuation of our SMCP lesson. Alright? And hope you were able to catch something, you were able to learn something from me with the help of our uh, with the help of the words that were discussed today. Okay? Thank you everyone and have a good day. I'll see you all again on Wednesday. Again, I'm your teacher, Shelly, for today. Okay? Bye!